So it's been a while since I did the avocado sprouting videos, the two I did. Sprouting our first homegrown avocados. And as you can see, this is the one I believe we've shown you guys a while back has sprouted. It's got, maybe 5 inches or so, 6 inches. Number 2 sprouted. It's only got like one leaf up there. Number 3 has not sprouted yet, but it looks, it's not rotted, it's not black. Possibly will still sprout. It definitely took a really long time to do this. And yes, I got some African violet leaves in here as well. I threw them on the side here just to see if they'll root. When we're watering the African violets or moving them, sometimes the leaves break off. So I just said, whoop, put it in there. So if nothing else, maybe we'll have African violets started in here. But at least we got 2 of these guys. So what are we going to do with them? Well, they need to get a little growth. They need to harden off, and then we can use them in experiments, with, maybe doing our swamp planting experiments later when we build more of these like aged wood chip raised bed, alternative beds or whatever. Seems like a really long name. We should rename that, based on, this raised wood chip bed idea is based on getting these like 1 year plus aged wood chips that are full of like mycorrhizal or fungi or whatever, and the purpose or what is I don't know what the term is. So people have come to the conclusion, like Oliver Moore and maybe a couple others, with these experiments that mycorrhizal fungi will help protect avocados. And why wouldn't they protect other things? Avocados from root rot when you're planting them, in normal areas in Florida or maybe Louisiana or wherever that are prone to flooding, or it's not just straight sand that just drains super fast. So it's not desert either, from Mexico, California, Arizona. So we're trying to keep these guys alive and healthy. And there still can be, freeze damages, freezes that kill them. There could probably still be, 1 in 100-year floods that could still damage or destroy these guys, no matter what. I would think. And there still are diseases that are not related to root rot that could kill them. But if we can eliminate one potential factor, such as just, generally getting a little flood from a hurricane or nor'easter, or, something happens, we get some tornado weather, flooding, that's just temporary, and it drains after, a day or a week or whatever. Will these guys survive? They will not survive just planting them in the ground. I know that. Oliver Moore knows that. He had a bunch of them die during one of the hurricanes, and he built these, or experimented with this aged wood chip raised bed, and it was successful, or it has been successful so far. He's got a bunch of avocado trees. Some of them are like 20, 30 foot tall, maybe more than that. And they're surviving, they're thriving, they're producing avocados. Just not even very far from me. Maybe a little bit further south, as far as getting a little bit warmer on the frosts and freezes, but very similar soil and climate that I have, So I may be a little bit lower on the closer to the water table, here, swampland. But he's I've been to his place a few times, and he is very close to that kind of swamp land as well. Just a little tad bit higher, tad bit warmer, as I said. So these would be a good thing to experiment with once they harden off enough to maybe survive, our freezes. So 2-3 years, I don't know how long it's going to take to get them to harden off. Hopefully we can keep them alive for that long, and we'll have some nice raised beds, in the swamp, the super swampy weather, super swampy land, I should say, because I have land that's, a little bit higher up, and I have land that is really low. And if, we get standing water 6 months out of the year, and I'm not saying 6 months straight, but often intermittently, we probably have 6 months of water in certain spots. And if we can raise a bed high enough, if we can get, put his experiments really to the test, how far can we push the limits? And it may not work. It may not work at all. But I've seen evidence of it potentially working, and I want to experiment with other things, not just avocados. But as I said, we on our first raised bed, we have a loquat there, and loquats aren't as susceptible as these guys are, but I'm in a low enough area where my low spots will absolutely kill loquats, and I've experienced that over and over again. Well, let's see in 2 or 3 years if my grafted loquat in the first raised bed survives and does well. So, are we going to add anything this year other than avocados? I have no idea, but I like the idea of doing peaches and all. Anyway, that's probably way more than you guys wanted to hear about, sprouting our first homegrown avocados. But there we go. 2 successes, 1 not yet, maybe.